Welcome back. Today we're checking out some more Warframe profiles. We checked out a couple last time, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I saw Gauss and started playing the game. I am silence. I am the night. I am Excalibur. Surprise! Electrified floors. This is no problem for a ninja. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Got it. Ultimate stealth. Ultimate stealth. I said ultimate stealth. That was absolutely not ultimate stealth. Oh yeah. Oh, just limbs everywhere. Oh, dude, just taken in two. Bomb. So you got me, guys. You got me. I started Warframe, so congratulations. Anyways, today we are going to check out some more of the Warframe profiles, starting with Revenant. So let's go ahead and get into it.
This is Revenant, the returned.
Oh, look at the headpiece on this guy.
Of Eidolon and warrior alike, he mystifies and obliterates his foes. Enthrall converts its target into a zealous thrall, causing them to turn on their allies and spread the affliction. When a thrall dies, they disintegrate into a damaging pillar of energy. Mesmer Skin envelops Revenant in sentient energy, redirecting incoming damage and stunning all those who dare attack him, allowing them to be enthralled at no energy cost. Reeve transforms Revenant into a wall of deadly sentient mist, leeching health and shields from any enemies it contacts.
Nice, get health back.
For thralls. Bewitch your enemies in the moonlight, Tenno. Dance Macabre
Yo, look at this.
Focuses the power of the Eidolon and any incoming damage.
This is a one-man rave, huh?
Eruption of energy
Party time!
Sweeping a circle of death outward around Revenant. Any thralls that succumb to these beams will leave overshield pickups for Revenant and his allies.
Nice.
Revenant serves last rites for the souls he leaves on fire, without a plea for mercy.
Alright, this is a decent one. His laser light show dance of death. Kind of neat. Korra. Who is Korra?
This is Korra and her deadly beast Venari.
Ooh, look at that.
Bladed precision. She is a mistress of entrapment. Whipclaw strikes fast towards her enemies, cracking the whip with a deadly disorienting hit that damages those in its area.
Alright.
Snare surrounds and binds her target in living metal, causing them to stop dead in their tracks. Entangling any other foes who stray too close. Her
oh, nice. Alright, a little bit of group crowd control.
trap can be dispersed with another crack of the whip. Venari summons a ferocious gleaming
Ooh, a pet as a primary ability. Okay.
Kavat with 3 cycled abilities. Attack directs the Venari toward an enemy, causing damage over time, more so if they are ensnared. Protect causes the Venari to knock down and disarm a target in range that is causing damage to Korra or the Venari itself. Heal sends the Venari to the ally with the lowest health, providing them with a healing aura. Death is listening, Tenno. Weave her whip into a strangle dome of
holy cow, look at that.
Snares and strangles any enemy unfortunate enough
Look at that. Holy cow. It reminds me of those jungle gyms that were made out of metal, and it was just a bunch of steel bars like bolted and welded together in this like shape right here. But it's like an entangling barbed wire electrocution version of that jungle gym.
To get too close. Don't get caught on the wrong end of a whip crack of Korra's steel. It may be the last thing you hear.
All right, Korra with the whip. All right. All right, Gara. What we got for Gara?
This is Gara, the
Gara.
deadly warrior. Manipulator of glass, she fractures the resolve of her enemies. Shattered Lash thrusts forward a deadly glass blade, damaging any in its...
Yeah, guys, glass. A lot of people underestimate glass, but glass will mess you up, man. It just takes just a little bit. It'll mess you up.
path, or hold to sweep the blade around an area in front of you. Splinter Storm surrounds her target with swirling shards of glass, pushing away enemies and damaging them, or protecting her allies with a damage reduction. Spectro Rage creates a ring of mirrors around a target area, causing enemies within it to attack and break them, inflicting damage to themselves.
Okay, all right. So that's pretty cool. Circle them with these glass things that when they attack them, they kind of shatter and do damage to them. That's kind of cool.
When enough mirrors are destroyed, the ring collapses, damaging all enemies within. Break on through, Tenno. Mass Vitrify expands outwards, coating all enemies it passes, slowing them over time until completely frozen, blocking...
Yo, that is a cool ability. Pushes out a wave in all direction. All the enemies that are caught within the wave get slowed down, and it looks like they almost get like covered in glass. And then it looks like it provides a barrier so that all the guys that are inside, you have plenty of time to mangle and destroy, while all the guys on the outside can't do anything about it. That's pretty cool.
Enemies and weapons fire, hitting the ring with shattered lash.
Oh, and you can shatter it to hit the people outside.
Outwards.
Okay, even better.
The shattered remains of her enemies are all that Gara leaves behind. Tread lightly.
Okay, Gara's a pretty cool one. I like that one. Alright, Oberon. I think...
This is Oberon, the mystic, the willful. Commanding the natural world, he protects his allies and obliterates his foes. Smite bathes its target with radiation while also forming roaming projectiles attracted to nearby enemies.
Okay, he's got a little magic missile ability.
Damaging any they contact. Hallowed ground blankets the ground around Oberon, and any enemies that step within it will submit to damage over time.
Okay.
Renewal emits a growing wave of healing energy for your allies, giving slow health regeneration over time once it passes them. Combined with Hallowed Ground, and allies also receive an armor buff. Reckoning lifts nearby enemies up and slams them to the ground.
Okay, this is almost like a caster class, doing buffs for enemies, debuffs, and even a little bit of crowd control on the enemies.
Any foes that witness but are not affected by Reckoning will become temporarily blinded.
Oh wow,
Oberon
okay.
is an adept and honorable warrior, Tenno. Are you?
Okay, that was a neat one. Looked like it had plenty of utility. I feel like we might have seen some of these in the Prime trailers, but the Prime frames and the regular frames are two different frames, so it's kind of like we're seeing a couple again, but it's kind of like we're not.
This is Hydroid, a deadly
Yeah, I definitely remember the water tentacles.
marauder from the deep. Master of the aquatic, he surprises his enemies
Yo,
at
what?
every turn. Tempest Barrage calls down a chargeable torrent of liquid fury, knocking down enemies in the target area.
Alright,
Tidal
it's okay.
Surge sets Hydroid forth in an unstoppable wall of water that sweeps up any enemies in his way.
Yo, that one's awesome. You could just clear out whole hallways with that, just...
Undertow casts Hydroid into a movable water trap
Yo.
that allows him...
Yo, that is awesome. He like liquefies into water, and then it looks like he can like lash out with tendrils and pull people into the water puddle. That is cool. That must be fun.
To pull in his enemies with deadly tentacles, causing them to slowly drown while submerged. From 20,000 leagues below, tentacle swarm summons a creature from the deep.
That's a lot of tentacles over a large area.
Violently wreaking havoc on his enemies, with a greater range and number of tentacles the longer it is charged. Whether the sea or the stars, Tenno, Hydroid takes a foreboding command of the battlefield.
So here's something I was wondering about. I noticed that while running around the open world in Warframe, that if you touch water at all, even if you just dip your little toe into some water, it seems like it negatively affects you. You lose a little bit of your energy. So what about the Warframes like Hydroid here, who can turn into water and have water-based attacks and are splashing water everywhere all the time? Are they immune to this energy draining effect that most Warframes seem to suffer from? Because it seems like, as cool as Warframes are, you know, a good sprinkler system is going to ruin their day. So are a couple of them immune to this water weakness that they seem to have? Hydroid's got some cool abilities, by the way. Harrow, okay.
This is Harrow, the monastic.
The monastic. Yeah, look at this design. Definitely has a very priest-like vibe to it, with the headgear, and it looks like he's almost got like a censer that he's carrying with him.
The ritualist, dedicated to the void, he harnesses its awesome power. Condemn brings forth a wave of energy that chains enemies in place while bolstering Harrow's shields. Penance
it's kind of a cool ability.
Shields, providing health.
Little self-flagellation there. Whips his censer around, hits himself.
Generation based on a percentage of damage dealt by Harrow, while also increasing his fire and reload rates. Thurible provides bursts of energy to...
Okay, yeah, there he goes, swinging that censer around, getting that smoke going.
Harrow and allies within range every time he gets a kill, amplified more so for headshots. The longer it's active, the higher the energy given. Covenant protects allies within range from all damage and status effects for a short period. Once ended, all protected allies gain additional critical chance relative to the amount of damage absorbed.
That could be a really powerful ability, keeping your allies from being able to be affected by status effects and damage. And then after that wears off, they get a crit chance bonus. That's pretty solid.
Harrow is suffragan to the void. Will you believe, Tenno?
Ooh, look, he gets a different color scheme than everybody else. Ooh. Limbo. Ooh, this one could be fun.
This is Limbo, master of the rift.
Yo, he just took part of his head off. Okay, cool. Nice helmet piece there, I guess.
Shifting friends, foes, and himself between planes of existence, tactical opportunities present themselves. Banish displaces targets to the plane opposite of Limbo for a limited time, inflicting additional damage if the target is hostile.
Interesting, okay.
Stasis halts the movement of enemies and gunfire inside the rift. When stasis ends, movement resumes.
Oh, wow! Holy cow, that ability reminds me of Time Stop in the Dishonored games. That's pretty cool. I like that. Limbo. I'm kind of liking Limbo. I mean, that one ability alone I like a lot.
Applies a charge to nearby enemies within the rift. Upon exiting the rift, they radially banish nearby foes back into the rift plane.
Oh,
Cataclysm
okay,
forms
that's cool.
a shrinking bubble of interdimensional energy, sending any who enter into the rift before collapsing upon itself into a potentially deadly blast. In a land of both shadow and substance, Limbo is both nowhere and everywhere.
Yeah, I like Limbo, man. his physical design is okay. It's all right, but his kit I really like. I really like his kit. Octavia. Okay, Octavia is the music one, if I recall correctly.
This is Octavia, the melodic.
Which I am kind of interested to see a little bit more clearly how her abilities function.
The maestro. She harnesses the power of the Mandracord.
Holy cow. What? Look at this. Okay, so you get to build a song. It looks like there's a separate area here for instruments, volume mixer, track isolation, loop. This is definitely not something I've ever seen in a game before, where you can customize like a song that in turn gets taken into battle.
Into her mortal minuet. Using the Mandracord, you can create your own songs for Octavia to wield in battle. Divided into 3 parts: percussion, bass, and melody. Octavia's song directly influences her abilities. With a variety of instruments to choose from, each battle will be a unique concert of musical mayhem. Mallet emits a percussive radius that attracts your enemies, causing them to attack the source. Storing any damage taken, it releases back onto your enemies with each beat.
That's wild. And so I guess it's playing the song that you built while it does this. And I assume that when you're composing the song, the different parts of the song have different effects, I'm assuming. So the main line is going to have a different effect than like the bass line. Okay. This is a wild one. This, I'm not going to lie, this might be a little bit above my pay grade when it comes to putting characters together. I'm a little bit more simplified than all this.
Drop the bass, Tenno. Resonator launches a rollerball that entrances your foes into following it blindly, forgetting any aggression, with the radius of attraction increasing with each new follower.
Oh, nice. A little ball that you can use to bait enemy mobs with. That's pretty solid.
Can also pick up Mallet, creating a deadly mobile distraction.
Oh, wow.
Metronome grants 1 of 4 melodic buffs, dependent on timed actions to the beat of Octavia's song. Jump and receive increased speed. Crouch and become cloaked for a limited time. Fire your gun and gain.
Octavia's got a wild kit, man. You could almost build an entire game where your character is just like based on like this kit where you build custom made soundtracks, and those soundtracks affect your gameplay and your stats and your damage output and your damage resistance and all that. Like that's crazy.
Gain multi-shot. Use your melee and increase your damage. Pump up the jam with amp, drawing its power from the level of sound of the environment. It provides a damage buff to Octavia and her allies, while also doubling the damage and range of any nearby mallets. If music be the food of death, play on, Tenno.
What a creative, different like play style and game mechanics. Nidus.
This is Nidus, the adaptive, the scourge. He mutates like an epidemic sweeping through the battle.
So, right off the bat, when I see the name Nidus, and especially when that word is mixed with this character model here that looks very bio-organic and very, I'm going to say it, Zerg-like. My mind immediately goes to StarCraft, and I think Nidus Canal from the Zerg. And judging from his appearance, he looks like, if you told me he was a new Zerg unit, I would probably believe you. You know, the new Nidus unit.
Battlefield. Virulence ruptures forth a wave of infestation.
Yeah, see, and he's spitting out infestation and stuff. Like, yeah, this could be like a Zerg hero character. Like, if you told me this guy was coming in to replace Kerrigan as like the leader of the Zerg, I could buy that.
With each enemy afflicted, your infestation begins to stack and mutate. Saving stacked mutations will multiply its destructive force, while refunding a portion of its casting cost. Larva spawns an infested pod.
Holy cow, look at that.
Tendrils, latching onto nearby enemies and holding them down. Parasitic link creates a temporary symbiosis with your target. With allies, you both get a boost of strength and deal increased damage.
Oh, nice. You can link up to an ally.
Damage inflicted upon Nidus. Put a pox upon their house, Tenno. Ravenous sets forth gluttonous maggots that swarm nearby enemies, feasting until they burst with infestation. The maggots benefit from mutation, and each enemy consumed adds to the mutation stack. Nidus is a deadly plague for which there is no cure. You must control this strange disease.
That's a dope kit though. I like that. He's probably pretty fun to play. Titania. All right.
This is Titania, the pixie, the unseen.
The pixie.
With deadly grace, she slices her way through the battlefield. Spellbind explodes outward, causing enemies to fumble their weapons as they are whisked into the air, giving nearby allies temporary immunity to status effects. Tribute extracts and suspends the soul of an enemy in midair. Upon touching the soul, one of 4 stackable ability buffs will be activated. Razor flies in the sky, Tenno. Lantern transforms an enemy into an irresistible floating beacon. Like
Oh, wow. Okay, I see. They're all like being drawn towards that one enemy and like grouping up together.
moths to a flame, Titania's razor flies surround the target, damaging all who come near until eventually exploding, knocking down or killing nearby enemies. Go and fly twice as high. Razor Wing transforms Titania into a small but deadly sprite.
Oh.
She and her razor flies gain.
Oh, holy cow. You actually turn into like a tiny little bug and go Ant-Man style and just start beating the crap out of people while you're tiny.
An evasion bonus, while inflicting incredible damage to their targets. Titania is a deadly and mischievous addition to any squad. But don't take my word for it, Tenno.
I mean, one thing I love about this Warframe is there's just so many like different variations and different gameplay styles. Inaros.
This is Inaros, the savior.
0 shields, okay.
King of the desert. Shrouded in myth and bound by incredible power. Inaros' abilities draw upon the sands from which he was entombed. Desiccation blasts enemies with a wave of cursed sand, blinding and damaging them, while also stealing their health.
So, if I'm seeing this right, he's throwing sand in people's faces. He's got a little bit of
pocket sand
on him, huh? Okay.
Devour marks your target, trapping it in quicksand. Charging the ability will draw them towards Inaros for devouring. Alternatively, Inaros or his allies can activate the target, transferring a percentage of its health and shields. If the target dies by the hands of Inaros, a sand shadow will spawn to assist him. Sandstorm transforms Inaros into a whirling spiral of sand, gathering nearby pickups and throwing enemies away. Enemies previously marked for Devour within its radius will be drained of shields and health. Curse thy enemy, Tenno. Scarab Swarm is a charged ability, converting your health into hardened scarab armor. Discharge it to inflict a swarm of insects toward your enemies. Any survivors will have their health drained and bestowed upon your allies within radius. While Inaros has no shields, performing finishing kills will restore his health. Likewise, if Inaros is felled in battle, he will return to his sarcophagus. Gazing at an enemy will pull it in closer, draining its health. Enemies damaged within its radius will contribute to his ability to revive. If filled, Inaros may automatically resurrect himself. Adding range and strength mods will benefit all of Inaros' ability.
Yo, that's a really cool ability. I like this guy. like his sand type theme going on. Several of his abilities seem very useful and fun.
Whereas including a duration mod will benefit all but Sandstorm. Whether denizens of the sky or the earth, Tenno, the fear of Inaros is within.
I like that one. Man, there's so many that I kind of want to play. Neja. What is this one?
This is Neja, the protector, the quick. A deceivingly playful facade conceals his immense power. Neja's abilities keep his enemies at bay and his allies renewed. Firewalker leaves a trail of flames at his feet as he runs, dealing fire damage to enemies that come in contact, while also increasing his movement speed. Blazing Chakram throws a fire chakram. If it hits an enemy, they will become marked. Enemies who die while marked emit a healing pulse to Neja's allies within a small radius. Triggering this ability while the chakram is in flight will cause Neja to teleport to it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Harrow creates a protective ring of fire around Neja that absorbs incoming damage while also hurting enemies who venture too close to the ring. Watch your step, Tenno. Divine Spears impales enemies in a radius around Neja.
I'm not gonna lie, I love abilities that do stuff like this. That just, not only do you take out the enemies, but you do it in style, man. Like, imagine fighting a dude and all of a sudden he snaps his fingers and impales your entire team on energy spears. Like, yeah, you'd be like, okay, nope, I'm out, I'm gone, peace, I ain't dealing with this. Like, I love abilities like this where they're effective and yet they look awesome.
Pinning them to the spears. When deactivated, they retract, slamming enemies into the ground with incredible force. Neja's abilities are easily modded to increase their effectiveness. Adding strength and range mods will positively impact all of Neja's powers. And adding a duration mod benefits all but warding Halo. Feel the heat, Tenno. Neja is a burning thing, and he makes a fiery ring.
All right, guys, that was a couple more of the Warframe profile videos. Man, I don't know. Out of all of those, I'm going to have to say that I'm probably the most impressed by Octavia just because of how different that whole idea for a character is. Nidus is also kind of cool. He seems like he could be fun. Hydroid seems like he has a couple fun abilities. And I think the sand one was pretty interesting. I think, I wouldn't mind eventually getting my hands on all of those guys. Due to the last Warframe profile trailer, I downloaded Warframe and started playing it. And so far, I am having a pretty good time. The game is a lot more than I thought it was. For some reason, in my head, I had assumed that Warframe was like a single player action game, and it is not that at all. So I'm very pleased with what I've experienced so far. And I've got you guys to thank for that. So thank you very much for introducing me to this wonderful, wild Warframe world. Anyways, guys, I had fun doing this video. I hope you had fun watching this video. If you did, hey, leave a like, drop a subscribe. Let me know what other videos I should be checking out down in the comments. And as always, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. Take care of yourselves and have a great day. Yes. Ponder the sphere. Okay. I got this. I can do this.
Nope.